So here we are at the New York International Auto Show, April of 2026. We're going to take a little tour around the show, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite vehicles that I would buy, and runners up. So come on, join me. Here we are at the Ford booth. One of the cars that I definitely would put on my list as a buy would be the Ford Maverick. This little pickup truck, especially in the hybrid version, provides a lot of value, I gotta say. I mean, hybrid, you're getting probably 40 plus miles to the gallon. You've got a mobility for driver and 3 passengers, possibly 4 passengers if you can squeeze on. But more important, it's got this nice truck bed. Not a big one, but a nice truck bed. So that is something to think about. The Ford Maverick. So the next vehicle in the Ford lineup that I would think about is the full-size Ford Bronco. Now, one of the things you're going to know about Bronco, so it says Bronco on the front, it's basically your basic Bronco. But if it says Ford on the front, it is a special Raptor edition. Now, I just took a cross-country trip, 10 days, about 3,000 miles in one of these, in a Raptor version, towing a trailer, and it was excellent. Ride was good. Fuel mileage was terrible, but then again, we were towing a trailer. But I've got to say, overall, it was a great vehicle. So in the Nissan area, what I look at and think about, though I haven't driven one, Nissan, you need to send me one of these. It's a Frontier. It's their pickup truck. Really, there are not a whole lot of smaller pickup trucks on the road, and this would be one of though they call this a midsize, it would be one that I definitely would think would be a cool truck. And you can get it with a V6 engine, so that's something to think about when you're thinking about a small pickup truck. Because a lot of them have the 4-cylinder engine or turbo 4, or in some cases even smaller. We don't want to hear about that. But if you're towing something and you want a little bit of power, then you definitely want a 6-cylinder engine. All right, so Leaf, Nissan Leaf. Nissan is the first one to bring a consumer viable all-electric vehicle to the market. And Nissan Leaf has been redesigned. It's a little bit more modern today. It's larger, has a lot of stuff. Again, Nissan, please send me one of these. So Chevrolet, gotta say, I have been a Chevrolet owner. I have owned 2 Chevrolet Astro cargo vans. Now, people are not talking about electric in DC, but here in New York, there's a big display of General Motors of Chevrolet electric vehicles, including their GM Energy program, which turns your car into a backup generator for your house. But the only reason I joined Buy a Chevrolet Today is part of their Chevrolet or GM Energy program, and that's Chevrolet GMC would have this, and that works with their all-electric vehicles. It's important because you're all-electric. This is like the EV Silverado here. You can see that. And there are other electric vehicles out there, electric Equinox. So that's something to think about. And if we're talking about electric vehicles, they're saying that the Bolt is back, and it's America's most affordable EV. So here we are, a basic Bolt for under $30,000. So that's something to think about if you're thinking electric and you want to stay American. Sort of, odd little, not really crossovers, not really hatchbacks, but they're useful for what they are. It has that. Is a Blazer EV. So let's talk about the Bolt. Bolt is 27. There's Bolt there. There's a Bolt there. So 2 Bolts, and then some Blazers here. So that's something to think about. Here we are with Subaru's latest. Look at. I don't know if you can see the paint color, the sparkle on this all-electric Subaru that we saw yesterday as it came out. This is the new Subaru Getaway. Let's have a look at the Getaway. So, very much like the Outback, very much a station wagon, very clean on the inside. So let's put that on our list of cars for the future. And then here's the Forester Hybrid. Subaru is a hot item for folks, so great to see it. It's on my list of yeses or not. Well, as we know, Kia, here we are in New York City. There's nothing more New York than a yellow taxi. And Kia's van, which we saw unveiled at the work truck show a few years ago, here it is as a New York taxi. Kind of cool to see that. Kia K4, that's something to look at. That would be on my list of cars to drive. And I really do like the Kia and Hyundai and Genesis electric vehicles. So that I just had a Hyundai Palisade, which is sort of the Telluride. I need to get a Telluride again. Check that. Sorento was one of my early cars that I did videos on. Really nice. So if you're looking at a solid value price vehicle, definitely Kia is on the list. Now let's talk about Lucid, an all-electric luxury vehicle. Now these vehicles are not inexpensive at all, but you get a lot for the purchase price. So they've just brought out this Gravity, which is their SUV crossover here. Let's talk about one of my favorite vehicles, the Jeep. And I think the reason I like Jeep so much is because that's where I came from. I learned to drive on a Jeep, and I was just in California and got to spend time in a red Jeep Wrangler Rubicon with removable tops. So that was really cool. So I was very impressed with these vehicles. Now I gotta say, they don't have the best crash test ratings, but they are certainly a lot of fun and really nice vehicles to even drive. And comparing to the Bronco and Jeep, you know, I like both, but I kind of think I'd feel more like a Jeep because I like the size of the Jeep, and of course I like the Jeep brand. So something that is new and has not yet come out is the new Ram ProMaster. Now this is a Turkish-built vehicle, so this definitely would be on my list as a cargo van, but it also can come in as a passenger van, an 8-passenger passenger van. So there's a lot to see about the Ram ProMaster. And of course, you know, you're gonna kind of like those Ram trucks as well, so they're pretty cool. So something that would be fun to drive would be this Concept Genesis long roof. Wingback. As you know, I really like the Hyundai brand, so there are lots of things within Hyundai that are really worth looking at. And what they unveiled this week is the new Boulder Concept. This is a prototype off-road vehicle, and with the Hyundai backing on it, it will be pretty darn cool, I gotta say, with all the things that's gonna go on. So this is just a prototype. You know, it's got Ineos in it, it's got Land Rover Defender, it's got Ford Bronco, not much Jeep though. Here we are with a little Hyundai Boston Dynamics doggies. Occasionally we see in DC walking around the streets of DC doing patrol work. Federal DC, I should say. So another car that I think is always just thought is cool is this Dodge Charger, but I like the electric version, and the reason I like the electric version is because it's one of a kind. You're not going to see anymore. They've stopped making them. They put them in gas models now. So lots of power, but very cool. I'm going to give an honorable mention to the Tonale, because you gotta love Alfa Romeo. I mean, just in general, it's just such a cool vehicle overall. So we had a Tonale when we were in Texas last year, and it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, another honorable mention goes to the Fiat 500, especially the electric version. That is so cool. And there's a classic Fiat from the day. Back in the day, this is what a little, your little Fiat would look like. Up there we go. So here we are in the Toyota booth, and of all the vehicles that I have driven, the one that I enjoyed the most was this little GR Corolla. Though I had an automatic, I would have liked to have had a 5-speed of it. So it's just kind of such a fun little car to drive around. And so there is, yes, a Toyota. So add Toyota GR Corolla to your vehicles. Yes, there are other GR products. I was kidding with one of the Toyota engineers the other day that there should be a GR Sienna minivan for the dads that want that. Now here is a runner-up. This is the Toyota Crown Signia. This is runner-up because I really do like the fact that it is a station wagon version of a vehicle. So it's really kind of a cool vehicle for that. One of my all-time favorites last year was this ID Buzz from Volkswagen, all-electric Volkswagen van, the classic van. You gotta love this vehicle. There's just so much space in it, so much to do. It was a great vehicle. So
first 10 years of work.
Yeah, so all just a great ride, and we had it in Washington D.C. World Pride Parade. It was a great vehicle. So that is definitely on my list of cars that I would buy. And that finishes up my visit to the New York International Auto Show for April of 2026. And those are the cars that I would buy myself. Enjoy the ride. Until next time.